China has ramped up World War III tensions with simulated air and sea strikes on Taiwan in what the country's leader Xi Jinping described as a stern warning. The huge exercises across 3 days are believed to have been spurred by a visit to the US made by Taiwan's president last week that Beijing has loudly opposed. Increasingly, the very idea that mainland China might be edging closer to an attack on Taiwan to seize the territory is widely being considered as a likely possibility. So the question now is, should we fear China? China claims the democratically run island of Taiwan, just 100 miles off its coast, is its sovereign territory and plans to one day bring the breakaway province under Beijing's control. But Taiwan sees itself as distinct from the Chinese mainland, essentially an open society where people are free to read what they want, think what they want, and vote for who they like. Its economy has become a technological linchpin for Western territories. Phones, laptops, watches, cars and washing machines all depend on the sophisticated chips produced by a single Taiwanese company. A Chinese takeover in Taiwan would give China global control over one of the world's most important industries, and so enabling it to ramp up prices everywhere. Recognizing its significance, US links with Taiwan have remained close, vowing to hit back if there's an attack. However, in the event of a war, America is said to be far more likely to ship military hardware to defend Taiwan rather than commit troops, and the UK would follow suit. At present, China hasn't ruled out using force to achieve Taiwan's reunification, and the United States hasn't ruled out defending Taiwan if China attacks.
So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, US forces, US men and women, would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
So how seriously should we be taking China's recent military moves? Well, the show of force is part of Beijing's response to a two-stop US visit by Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, which marks the highest-level political meeting that a Taiwanese leader has held while on US soil. Beijing had warned prior to this that should such a meeting occur that it would retaliate.
That the situation in between Taiwan and China now is rather tense.
Last summer, we saw similar events on a different scale after the then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. China's response was swift, with 21 of its fighter jets crossing the Taiwan Strait as Pelosi's plane arrived. It triggered air raid sirens across the powder keg state. This time around, the response was a little less dramatic but still robust. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbing said the military drills are a serious warning against the collusion and provocation of Taiwan independent separatist forces and external forces. So, what happens in the event that China takes Taiwan? Strategists believe that if Taiwan falls, the island will become a vast military staging post to expand China's territorial claims against neighbours, including Vietnam and Malaysia. And unlike the war in Ukraine, once an invasion begins, it would be near impossible to get any troops or supplies onto Taiwan, so Washington needs to begin acting soon.
We advocate that that day never comes. And if we've learned anything from Ukraine, there's actions that could have been taken 5 years ago. So Ukraine never had. Deterring that action to take place would have saved thousands of lives.
Perhaps then that's the only chance Taiwan has of avoiding war, by making itself a porcupine, a small, really sharp, nasty little thing that's indigestible to China.